Welcome to another edition of Salute to Industry. Today we're going to be featuring Red Hat, which is an IT training company. And we have Robin Mahara and Ted Brunel, Marine Corps veteran Ted Brunel, with us to talk about the industry and the opportunity that we have for veterans in this space. Do you guys also work with military spouses, by the way? Is the training opportunities available for military spouses?
Absolutely. We're working through vet jobs in Casey, so yes.
Okay, just to clarify for our viewers out there. So let's start with Robin. If you could tell us a little bit about about the company and how it's encouraging veterans to apply to your training program.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much, first of all, for having Ted and I. Really appreciate it. And so, Red Hat Enterprise is obviously the leader in open source software. And a lot of folks know us, obviously, primarily through Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And so we're much more than that. And so we were approached, actually, I was approached by Ted, and he reached out and said, hey, I want to offer some kind of training that we have for veterans. Obviously, we do a lot through GI Bill funding. And so we wanted to have some training that was available to U.S. military personnel, specifically veterans, as they transition, to life outside of the military. And so luckily, our parent company, IBM, put together a program called Skills Build, which allows veterans to obtain training and give them real world experience once they get out of the military. And so we're working with Skills Build and our parent company, IBM, to provide training available to all veterans.
That's what's interesting to me. And if you don't mind, just a little bit more into the Skills Build aspect as far as the types of training. How sophisticated is this? Can an entry-level person come into this? Can you speak to that? And that might cross over a little bit more into what we cover with Ted as well, but just kind of expand upon that for us a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So the training that we have through Skills Build is all self-paced training online. So it's ideal for obviously what's happening today in society with a lot of folks quarantining, not necessarily traveling. It allows you to do training at your own pace. And our training is obviously going to be hands-on, in-depth. And regardless of the skill set that you currently have, whether you have years of experience in the IT industry or maybe you're brand new and you just want to delve into that, the training that we offer actually is designed for all skill sets. And it's going to be all self-paced. It's going to be all online, obviously. Sorry, I feel like I've said self-paced is online, so we probably want to go back there. Sorry. Luckily,
so
this is online, right?
Self-paced. Is that what you're saying?
Oh man, no. So all right. So where should I go back? Should I restart?
No, just keep it casual. Keep it going. We're just having some fun. So we'll probably even keep this in there because we like poking fun at you. So now you're the target.
No, don't worry. And we can edit everything. Yeah. We can edit out anything. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, but I wanted to kind of come across and let people know, you don't necessarily kind of like what level people might have the presumption like, okay, I have to be cyber. I have to be IT, to get into this. And, I think we'll cover that a little bit with Ted because people just don't know. Right. And most people that we deal with coming out of the military, over 60% don't really work in the same industry or field that they did in the service. So a lot of people like to pivot. And we all know cybersecurity is just a hot market. I mean, it's the biggest ticket in town right now. It's going to be for years to come. And for us as a program, it's where we're steering a lot of people. So I wanted to kind of like push in that direction.
Yeah. So, okay. So, yeah. So obviously the training that we offer is going to be, as I've mentioned, obviously online self-paced. So regardless of the skill set that you currently have. And what's great about it is that it's very flexible. And so regardless of what job type you're looking at, what role you're looking for, whether it's software engineer, system administrator, a site reliability engineer, virtually all types of Linux postings will specifically, seek out Red Hat certified professionals. And what's great about Skills Build is that it will give veterans the tools needed to not only take the training and understand what's happening, but also obtain a certification, which is very sought after in the job market today.
In 2008, when I retired out of the Marine Corps, I knew that what I wanted to do was, well, even back in 2007, I knew that I wanted to get a job working, with Linux. I saw it kind of as like a new technology, kind of up and coming. I thought it was going to be the next big thing, which it turned out it is.
Good gamble there, Ted. Good gamble.
Yeah. So I signed up for Red Hat training and had to pay for it out of pocket. The only portion that I was able to get covered through tuition assistance at the time was the actual exam, or maybe it was GI Bill, but it was the actual exam, which was the smaller portion of the cost, much smaller portion. So the course itself was actually thousands of dollars, and so that's quite a hit when you're trying to get out. You're trying to prepare. You're trying to save money so that you can put a down payment on a house or, deposit on an apartment. And, to sit there and go, okay, this is my dream. So I'm going to invest in what I want to do. I'm going to go out and I'm going to get certified. It can be expensive. So, part of my conversation that I had with Robin was, what can we do to help other people who are kind of in the same shoes I was in, or the same boots I was in at the time, I guess. What can we do to help them so that when they're transitioning out, they don't have a big out-of-pocket expense just to get trained so that they can enter industry with a current kind of entry-level certification, but it's a foot in the door. It proves that they know what they're doing. The Red Hat exam is very hands-on, as Robin said. It really tests your knowledge. We're not so focused so much on, did you solve the problem properly? Following a rigid set of instructions, but instead we focus on, is the end result what we were expecting? We don't care how you got there, just did you get there? Did you cross the finish line? So Robin and I, over the years, we've been discussing this, kind of going back and forth on different ideas, maybe different ways of approaching the program. And that's kind of how the program was born, working with Skills Build to offer this opportunity to people transition out of the military. You can register with Skills Build. They enroll in the class. I know Robin said it a bunch of times, so I'm going to say it again, self-paced. And at the end, they can go and take their exam at a Red Hat exam facility. Right now with COVID-19, we are offering exams online. So you can just take the exam in the comfort of your house. There's some requirements for the environment that you take it in and your computer setup. But at the end, if they pass the exam, they get a Red Hat certification, and they are at that point where they are ready to open the job market. They have current skills that are actually highly in demand.
So what a great testament that you came out. Now, when did IBM acquire Red Hat? I can't remember when I was flipping through.
So the deal was announced last year that IBM had intended to purchase Red Hat, and it was closed, I believe, in June of this year. Maybe
sounds right. Yeah,
maybe earlier.
Yeah. So I mean, so for people listening, this is relatively all just happening right now during COVID, during 2020. So as that acquisition closed, we were closing on the Skills Build deal with IBM. So that kind of started launching. So you guys came right in at the right time, which we love, absolutely love, because we believe wholeheartedly in your training program and getting people involved in it. So, and what a great testament for how you guys have evolved into that and bring this opportunity forward. So give us a little details, if you guys will. What's it like working for Red Hat? What's behind the scenes like over there?
Wow. Do you want to start, Rob?
Yeah. So, I mean, I love it. Right. And to me, it kind of feels, I've never worked for a startup, right? But it feels like a startup environment. We wear jeans to work, wear sneakers. It's a very relaxing vibe. And Red Hat's huge on culture. And so, that's a huge reason we feel the IBM acquisition happened. They love our culture and we love our culture. We love our people. And so that's the best thing about working at Red Hat is the people that I work with on a daily basis, right? And so Ted and I've had the pleasure of working with Ted now for 7 years. And so we built a pretty good bond and a good relationship, a good friendship. And so that's like the best thing about Red Hat is just the people that I have around me.
Yeah, and I'll second everything that Robin said. It is a really fantastic place to work. Just like any of the other large IT vendors out there that are, kind of seen as being the leaders in this, new evolution of IT companies, the Amazons, Googles, things like that. We try to attract the top talent, and we try to match up people who are a good cultural fit for the company, as well as skills, obviously. And we operate largely as a meritocracy inside the company. So it's not the person in charge who necessarily makes all of the decisions. Instead, it's everybody on the team. I'm one of the managers, and when we need to make a decision, a lot of times we'll go to our team and we'll ask for everybody's input. And meritocracy is about the best idea of winning. So we'll allow everybody to come up with some input, and then we'll decide what's the best idea out there, which way do we actually want to move. And so that kind of culture is really exciting to be a part of. You feel like you have a much larger voice in this type of environment as an employee of the company than maybe what you see in other companies.
Right. You're involved in the decision-making process. Or you feel more involved in that decision-making process, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you guys are doing something right to go from, to offer open source is one thing, right? But to monetize it to the scale of $2 billion, I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, it's not something everybody's doing out there in the marketplace, right? So
yeah, I think we're either closing or just crossed the $5 billion mark, actually.
Yes. I mean, come on, right? Yeah. So for people, this is the company, right? I mean, it's a $5 billion. You guys are enterprise level systems. You're serving enterprise level software companies. Companies across the globe. I mean, it's a good upward mobility. It sounds like in growth. So
yeah, and people who enter the IT industry, they tend to be driven by new and exciting technology, right? These are the people who are, definitely driven by being on that bleeding edge of technology. What's the latest and coolest thing I can do with the technology I have at my fingertips? And so we're really enablers of that. We're involved in a lot of the upstream open source communities where a lot of this is just being developed, from scratch, a lot of these capabilities. So it's really exciting to be part of that as well and see new technologies like containers, when they're first getting started, and you have your hands in there, and you're, talking about what's working well, what's not working well,
right?
Talking to customers about it, getting feedback from them, feeding that back to the engineers. It's a really exciting and fun place to work.
What advice would you have for veterans who are looking to get into this space?
We internally at Red Hat ran some studies, right? And we saw that we asked organizations, what's the biggest blocker for you as far as your digital transformation efforts go? And as you'd expect, it's security gaps, manual IT processes, and basically cost. But the number one thing that all those organizations said was IT talent is the biggest skills gap that they see today. And so essentially they are looking for that. So organizations, employers are looking for a new IT talent. They need someone with the new agile skills needed in our industry. And so the training that we offer will get you that, but also the certifications are obviously industry renowned. And so that is also going to help with that digital transformation effort that organizations have today.
I think this is great stuff. And if there's anything, I think we covered everything that we want to cover here as far as getting this spotlight out to the community. Is there any last thoughts that you guys have as far as, who's going to be seeing this? Is going to be somebody, coming out of the service, somebody looking to maybe pivot into the industry? What kind of final thoughts do you guys have for these types of people out there looking to get involved?
Ted, I'll let you answer this one.
All the hard-hitting facts here.
Yeah, well, I would say that this is an actual great place to start with the training. Second thing is, there's one of the ways I found out about the opportunity that I received at Red Hat to be employed was through a Linux users group. So, that's you won't see a whole lot of Red Hat advertising on TV and things like that. You can't go to the store and buy, a DVD with Red Hat software on it. We do all of our distribution online. We do a lot of our advertising online. So I would say that, if you're really interested in getting involved in a Linux community or potentially a job at Red Hat, get involved. Find an open source community to join, get involved. Whether it's a Linux user group or even a software community online, one of the upstream open source projects. We're always looking for code contributions. We're always looking for people to contribute to documentation. And there's just a ton of work to be done. And it's a great way of entering the community, entering the open source realm, and really just letting your presence be known.
That's great insight. And then for anybody who's going to register, can do so via vetjobs.org//training. Who, once registered, you'll probably land in and talk to Robin at some point. Is that correct? So you'll see this guy on the other end.
Absolutely.
And just to recap, it is self-paced, so everybody going in there can work at your own pace. So we certainly appreciate you guys. Thanks for playing along with us and having some fun today. And hey, Ted, thank you for your service and for pushing to create this program and bringing it to people like Robin, where you guys can build this together, and now to us that we can get it out to the world and the veteran community and the guys coming out of service. So very proud of what you guys are doing and happy to spotlight it to our people.
Thank you, and thanks for inviting us here today and helping us, Robin and I, get the word out about this opportunity for veterans. So we appreciate it.